All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of The Potential Project. I'm your host, Sean Calhoun, and if you're here, it's because you're ready to reduce stress, burn stubborn fat, and get your body working with you instead of against you. On this podcast, we're all about simple, no BS strategies for fitness, nutrition, and lifestyle. This way, you can feel strong, confident, and in control. I'll give you the tools, mindset shifts, and habits to help you look and feel your best without spending hours in the gym or stressing over every single meal. Now, let's get into it. Welcome back and Happy New Year. This is the first episode of 2026. So I'm excited to be sharing this message with you guys and for you to be spending some time with me in this new year. Now, hopefully you spent some great time with friends and family and enjoyed yourself and maybe took some time to sit down and reflect. I know a big thing for me is I like to take a few hours or a day to just really step back from the world and busyness and work and see what my life has become, what are some of the things that I've accomplished, what are some of the things that I've enjoyed over the past year, and reflect on those, whether journal it out or I'll talk to Gianna about them and set some intentions and goals for the upcoming year. Now, everyone's strategy is different, but I hope that you just did take some time to reflect because life is happening so fast. And if we don't take a step back, we lose track of all the good things and all the moments and all the happy times that come flying by. So it's good to be present and to reflect on those things. Now, going into a new year, I know a lot of us are setting goals and we have our New Year's resolutions. And since you're listening to this, one of your goals may be to improve and to continue to have a high level of health. Now, I've been talking a lot about similar topics on this show that are more about identity-based and achieving your goals. And guess what? We're going to do another one. Now, I'm going to take time in the future to have more guests on and to talk specifically about things like hormones and tactics and all of the things that are essential to learning about how to live your most healthy, vital life. But I want to do another one on mindset because it's so important, and I hear so many people stuck in their ways and stuck in their own head when it comes to breaking through that barrier that's holding them back from feeling their best. Now, again, it's a new year, we're setting goals. A lot of people want to lose weight. A lot of people want to build strength, build vitality. Your goal may be different, and it's going to be individual to you, and that's okay. But we're specifically going to be talking about things like losing weight, building strength, and just building better health in general. We won't get too specific because I can't narrow everyone's goal in here on the message. So the point I'm trying to make is that if this has been your goal for a while and you haven't achieved it yet, we have to realize at some point that it's not a willpower problem and it's not an information issue. You see, the goal that you have, let's say, again, lose weight, the information for it is out there. I mean, we live in a world that we have too much information, from social media to ChatGPT to Google to YouTube to hiring coaches, right? The information is all out there. All of it can work to some extent, and there is validity to it. But the gap that is holding you back from achieving it, again, is not between you and the information that you need to attain, right? So you don't need to search for some new fad or some new program or this new technology that's going to eventually or finally help you achieve this goal. The real gap is your identity and the standard that you're willing to live by. Now, I made a social media post yesterday, and I basically flat out said that you don't want it bad enough. You see, in life, if you're willing to tolerate things and to not hold yourself accountable and to not take ownership over the little things in your life that you know that you should be doing, but you're not anyway, you cannot be upset if you don't yet have the goal. Now, I use the term yet because it's not saying that this is impossible for you. I'm not saying it's a failure if you haven't achieved your goal yet. You can do that today. We can make the switch today, right now in this episode. And I'm hoping that from this message, you are going to choose to flip that switch in your head and become a different person. So let's break this all down, right? Like I said, you are not missing the right plan. Odds are you've done research before. Maybe you've belonged to a gym before. Maybe you've hired a nutritionist. You may have done some of those things. And if not, that's probably a first step, right? Go sign up for the gym. Go seek help, right? Seek some type of information on guidance towards getting towards your goal of losing weight. But there is an overwhelm of advice out there. Like I said, there's so much advice out there, you don't even know what to do with it. But find someone that you trust who's proven it before that they can do the goal that you want. They've helped people lose weight or they've lost weight themselves, and then follow their advice, right? Then when you get that advice, it's not that you need more variance to the plan. You just need clarity, and you need to do that plan in a state of consistency. Now, don't get me wrong. When you find this plan, right, you found the coach, you found the plan on ChatGPT, you found what seems right on Google. That doesn't always work for everybody, right? I mean, I come from a place where I coach women through functional health, and I make sure that we run labs on everybody because you are an individual and you may have some underlying issues going on. But I only work with women who are already doing the foundational things. They're already consistent with their workouts. They're already eating somewhat of a whole food diet, right? Like they're doing a lot of the foundational things that it takes to achieve their goals, but they needed an extra level of support for lab testing, hormonal testing, stress tests, and things like that. But if you're someone who hasn't even taken the approach to do the foundationals, like hydrate properly, like eat whole foods and not stuff your face with sweets, and maybe give up alcohol for a little bit and move your body on a daily basis. If you haven't even done those things, there's a lot of steps that you can take before you want to run and get some lab testing done. So that's just where my stance is the fact that I'm not undercutting the fact that some people do have scenarios like their thyroid's misfunctioning or they have a hormonal imbalance. That may be true. But for the people who aren't even doing foundational stuff, let's start there, right? So what I'm saying is the steps go, find someone you trust who has what you want or has proven that it works. Follow their plan. You have the steps that it takes. You've eliminated the noise. Now, what stops someone from then achieving their goal? You might have said, Sean, I've done that before. I've gotten the plan. It's still not working for me. And that's why we're doing this episode, is because you can still have the perfect plan for you personally and not get results. And that's the unfortunate truth that we see time and time again. And this gives you proof that it's not about the plan. It's not about what you're doing. It's about who you are internally and what identity and standards you hold for yourself in order to achieve the results. So if you want a strong, healthy body, that means you're living as that person. It's not specifically the steps you're taking and that you're following this plan. It's no, you're doing those things, but you're becoming a healthy, vibrant person, right? Most people say that they want results while still identifying as someone who's inconsistent, they're reactive to life, or they negotiate their daily habits, right? Like you say that you want to lose weight, but yet on the weekends, you just kind of eat whatever, you drink, and you don't calculate anything, you don't move your body. Well, guess what? That amount of time during the weekend is throwing all of your progress off. You're not embodying the standard, you're not living as the identity, and mathematically, you're not keeping up with the amount of work that it takes to actually achieve the goal of losing weight. And real change, like the switch that you can make right now, it doesn't take a plan, it doesn't take a coach, it doesn't take paying anyone. The real change in your life to improve your health can start when you decide, I am no longer willing to tolerate this version of my health and of my life. I'm fed up. I'm no longer willing to tolerate this any longer past right now, this very second. That's why it doesn't take starting on Monday or starting after the holiday. It never takes that because it's a switch in your head that goes off. It's not a date on the calendar. You can't prepare for Monday to be this person. No, it happens in an instant. Like you become the person who is no longer willing to tolerate it. And that's why I mentioned in my social media post and an earlier in this conversation is that right now you may just not want it enough. And that's okay. You're not a bad person. You're not wrong. It's just you have to be real with yourself. Because if you did want it enough, if you did want it bad enough, then you would be doing the things on a daily basis that are required to achieve weight loss and to achieve strength training, and know that it's going to be hard, but you're taking the steps anyway. Now, here's what usually happens. You kind of half-ass it, right? You're doing your workouts a little bit, or you're saying you're eating protein, but you're not really, right? You're having one egg or 2 eggs for breakfast. You might have put some chicken on a salad, and you have some 2 ounces or 3 ounces of some type of protein for dinner. You're not eating enough protein. You're eating junk on the weekends. You're still drinking, right? All of those things are falling through the cracks. So we think, let's try some all or nothing approach, right? Like I'm really going to go hard for 30 days. I'm going to do this carnivore diet, or I'm not going to eat. You're going to eliminate a food group, or you want to do something extreme for a time period, thinking that it's going to finally be the thing that makes the change and that allows you to lose the weight. But what happens is you either are so hard on yourself that you're stressed out because it's so like rigorous of a challenge to do, or you don't do it perfectly. You look at yourself as a failure for not doing it, and then you think you're broken and it's all your fault and this is why you can't do it. While the real approach is to flip that script and say, no. I know that it takes simple daily actions for the long haul. Hey, hope you're loving the episode so far. Thanks for spending some time with me. I got a quick favor to ask. Make sure you're subscribed to the podcast because that's how I know you're getting value from the show. And this way, you never miss an episode. All right, now back to the show. Not today, not tomorrow, on a 24-hour basis every day for the rest of your life. But yet, don't think about that. Just think about today. You have to win a 24-hour game. And you have to be fed up with all of those excuses that you've made in your head. And you have to stick with something that you can do today. Now, this is the point, is that instead of taking that extreme approach, you have to know that with all the information that you've gathered so far in your life, plus your intuition, you know something that you could do right now. Maybe it's you're not snacking late at night. Maybe it's you could go for that extra walk. Maybe you could sign up for the gym. Like your body, your mind is telling you those simple things that you could do, but you bypass that because you think that's too simple. It's got to be some elaborate plan. It's got to be a 6-week challenge. It's got to be a no alcohol for a month. It's got to be something extreme because that's what really works. No. That's not it. Those things are great. Don't get me wrong. You can do those. But if your approach is saying, man, I've really been having this urge to stop snacking at nighttime, and I know that that's probably holding me back, and I could probably go for a walk after lunch, and I could probably, make more protein in the morning, right? Maybe have a few more eggs and add a slice of turkey bacon or two, and I don't know, that could work. But you second guess yourself again because you think it needs to be hard. Those things that you were just telling yourself are the exact steps that you need to take and allow them to compound over time. You see, because let's say your subconscious was like, you should probably stop snacking at night. And you don't do it anyway because your pain's not bad enough. It's not big enough of a problem for you to change it. And you say, well, it's hard. I really enjoy snacking at night. Guess what? Life is hard. You know what else is hard? Holding on to extra belly weight, being on medications, being reliant on other people, not enjoying what you look like in the mirror when you put on new clothes. That is hard. You just have to choose your hard. So when that trigger goes off in your head and says, let's not snack tonight. It's really not worth it. Don't do it, right? It's that simple. Don't do it. You don't need a coach. You don't need a buzzer to go off on your phone. You just have to be real with yourself and be aware enough to say, okay, I'm craving sweets again, or I'm craving a snack after I ate dinner already, and be the person who doesn't do it. I know that sounds crazy, and it's harder than you think. And I've had to face myself in the mirror with stuff like this before, but it's what it takes. Because guess what happens? You manually flip that switch in your head and you start to build positive energy towards the fact that you are in control of everything in your life. So this is what happens. You say subconsciously, I think a step that I could take that would improve my health and help me lose this weight is to stop snacking at night, right? You didn't pay anyone, you didn't Google a plan, you just know that that's something that would help you. Then tonight, you get hungry, you're craving that snack, and you don't do it anyway because you know you shouldn't. And you know that deep down inside, your body wants what's on the other side of you not snacking. You're going to wake up the next day ready to run through a wall feeling like you are Superman or Superwoman because you listened to yourself. You told yourself that I was in control of creating a thought, staying through with that action, and creating an outcome. Now, you don't put the weight of your results on a coach or a plan or the internet or this person on social media. You took back control of your life and you said, you know what? I can kind of figure out what's going to move me forward and I can take action on it because I'm in control of what I think about. I'm in control about what I read, what I eat, how you drink, how you show up, who you hang out with. You're in control of your life. And when you take back control of that, that's when you build the confidence and make that switch in your head that you are the person who lives a healthy lifestyle, that you are the fit, happy, healthy version of yourself already. That little step was you being that person. And then the sucky part is you just have to keep showing up as that person. Because after that day happens, tomorrow, you're probably going to have those cravings again. You're going to want to snack again at night. And guess what you have to do? Fight those demons again and say, you know what? I did it yesterday. I can do it again today. I'm not going to snack. I'm going to replace it with a healthier situation. Maybe I'm going to have Greek yogurt instead of ice cream. Or maybe I'll have a bigger dinner so I'm not craving food in the afternoon. And yes, you're going to have to continue to fight these demons on an hour-to-hour basis, on a daily basis. That's okay. But that hard of fighting those negative thoughts and those intrusive thoughts and not feeding into your quote-unquote addictions of snacking or not moving your body, whatever it is building you into a better version of yourself, one little step at a time. So I'm going to stop rambling on that. But remember, you have to choose your hard, right? No one said it was going to be easy. It is super simple that you need to make sure you're eating whole foods. You need to move your body on a daily basis. You need to get sunlight. You need to hydrate your body. You know these things. And intuitively, your body's been trying to tell you what it needs. Because here's the deal, right? I talk to people all the time. What are your goals? What would you like to achieve? I'd like to lose 20 pounds. I'd like to tone up a bit. I'd like to build some strength. And if I were to ask them what are some things that they could do right now, and some people involuntarily just tell me, well, yeah, I'd like to do this. And I know it's the eating. Like I know I could tune up, my eating at nighttime and on the weekends. It's like, well, then why don't you? Like I will gladly be your coach. I will gladly have you embark on this challenge. I will embark on this challenge with you. Don't get me wrong. I love to guide people. But man, it's like if your body and your mind are telling you the steps, the little step that you could take today to move closer to that goal and to move closer to the identity of that person, why not take it, right? Because I feel like if we choose to believe that it's got to be some plan or it's got to be something that is out there that gives away the accountability and that gives away the control from us. Oh, it was that gym that didn't work. It was that diet that didn't work. It was that coach. It was that bad advice. It was this. All of that is pointing the finger elsewhere and saying it was these external circumstances that didn't allow me to lose the weight. What I'm saying here is if we strip away all that noise, your body is going to tell you one little thing that you can do. And if you do that, you're going to build momentum. And that's going to get you so much closer to achieving your goal than any of these plans ever will. Because again, we talked about in the earlier in this, even if you have the perfect plan, you can still not get the result. Because there's people in coaching groups who all have the same plan, and some people succeed and some people don't. It's because of their mindset. It's because what's between inside your 2 ears, right? What's inside your skull. So some action steps. Like, what's something that you could do today to take charge of this, right? Take back control. Is that think about what is one healthy habit that you already know that you could implement that would help you lose weight or get stronger that you keep avoiding. I was using the reference of snacking late at night. Maybe it's something different for you, but you know what it is because it lingers in your head. And I have them in my head too. I'm like, if I just did this or if I just didn't do that, they linger up there and you hear them, but you're going to start listening louder because I want you to write this down. And I want you to figure out what's one thing that you could do that would help you lose weight or get stronger, but you keep avoiding. Then commit to doing that for the next 7 days, let's call it. You don't have to commit for this long haul because really life happens one day at a time. But this isn't like a reset. This isn't extreme rules. It's just you being consistent and being honest with yourself for 7 days of saying, I'm going to try this. Let's use the example of snacking at night, right? Where you said, all right, Sean asked me to figure out something that's been lingering in my head, and I know that I snack at nighttime, and that's probably something that I can improve upon. So tomorrow, when it comes to nighttime after dinner, you don't snack. That was day number 1. You want to do it for 7 days in a row if you can. Day number 2 comes, you're like, I did it yesterday. This is hard again. I'm really craving this. Should I do it? Like, what's going to happen if I just snack one day and you don't do it again? By the end of 7 days of you doing this, you will feel so confident in yourself and so proud, and your identity will really shift towards the person who's taking back control of their life, that you're not going to want to let yourself down, and it's going to get easier for you to make that decision. And when I say easier, you're still going to get the cravings, but mentally you have been through that process, that conversation in your head so many times that you're going to say, I've had this conversation, I've had this debate. I am fed up with feeling this way. I am no longer allowing myself to move forward as this old version, this unhealthy version of myself any longer, that I'm going to continue to make the hard choice of not snacking at night. Now, the reality is, over the course of a week, maybe you don't lose any weight. Maybe nothing extreme happens physically. But mentally, what will happen, you will have so much more mental clarity and confidence. It will be immeasurable. You won't even be able to recognize yourself again, that it's going to propel you forward. Now, reality is you probably will lose a few pounds. Some inflammation will go down. Some bloatingness will probably go down because your digestion will improve. But needless to say, the mental change, the identity shift that will happen through taking that action outsurpasses any program, outsurpasses any coach, because you will believe in yourself again. And that's what it takes, guys. I don't want to ramble here. I just wanted to hit this home because I hate seeing people struggle. I want to see you win, and I know that you can. You're right there. You're holding on to the reins. You have control of your life, but you have to take that action and flip the switch. You have to create momentum to flip the switch that you're no longer willing to tolerate that old version of you who gave in to those feelings and gave into those thoughts. Choose your hard. It's not that complicated. It is simple, but you can do it. I will see you next week. Hey, thanks for spending some time with me on today's episode. I hope you got a ton of value from it. If we're not connected on Instagram yet, let's change that. Hit me up at Sean Calhoun _ That's SEAN Calhoun _ Shoot me a DM. Let me know what you think of the show or if you got any questions about how to level up your health. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you on the next episode.